Hey guys, Joey from Apollo Support here. So in this video, I'm going to take out time to really explain how partial profits procedure works in Apollo bot. As you know, the partial profits procedure is a very unique way of managing risk. It's a stop loss in Apollo bot, but it's the most dynamic and most awesome stop loss procedure in the market. You really need to understand how this works, because once you understand how this works, it will blow your mind. All right. So when you are trading on futures with the futures classic strategy, I need you to follow everything I say in this video for you to properly understand how this works. You need to understand it. When you're trading futures in Apollo bot using this strategy, futures classic or futures hedge, all right, because you're trading the futures market that is a volatile market, you need to have a stop loss. But the issue with traditional stop losses are that if you're trading in the cryptocurrency market, which is very volatile, you can end up hitting stop loss so many times, which would lead to you losing your capital, because a stop loss means stop the loss, meaning you're going to have to make a loss to stop the loss, right? And if you keep hitting stop losses, you're going to end up finishing your capital. So we came up with the most awesome way to manage risk using the most dynamic stop loss in the market. Okay, example here, I'm trading this account. I just set up this account for the purposes of this video. So here on futures hedge, right, futures hedge, right, hold on. When you're trading futures hedge like I'm trading right now on this account, let's say I want to trade ETH, and you're using this strategy, hold on, this strategy, right, HDCA strategy, right. This strategy is fully automated trading where the AI handles everything for you. All right, because trading requires flexibility, you can afford to be stagnant or fixed or rigid in a flexible and volatile market like cryptocurrency. So you need flexibility. So what the AI HDCA offers is the flexibility needed to succeed in the futures market, right? So what do I mean by flexibility? All these parameters here, see all these parameters here, they're all dynamic. Okay, that's why you see here smart allocation, meaning that the AI allocates the parameters for each coin depending on the movement of the coin, depending on the market dynamics. And it is not static, it is dynamic. It moves up and down. It is regulated by the AI because the AI is constantly reading the market to make the most of any market conditions for you in terms of risk management and profit. So these parameters are always changing as the market changes, because the AI dances with the market, because the crypto market is dancing. You also need to dance with it. You need to flow with it to make the most of it. So when you're using this strategy, HDCA, all right, you notice at some point when a coin experiences extreme volatility, or depending on the AI's discretion, it might close the coins partially. Now the partial profit is the stop loss with this strategy. What do I mean by closing the coins partially? Let me show you the logs. You can see here the logs. I'll tap on it. This is what I mean by partially closed. All right, you can see this is the partial profits, or the splitting mode. Some people call it the splitting mode, or partial profit, or partial closing. All right, let me explain to you how this works and why it's so unique in Apollo bot. So when these coins are partially closed, because it is partially closed, you have actually made a profit. Okay, you've actually made profits, but this profit, okay, will not be visible in your exchange immediately, because, let me show you. Okay, example, let me go over to Binance. Okay, and I tap here, futures. Hold on. Tap here on futures. Then I tap here on my top right corner on this horizontal 3-dot button. All right. Then I tap here on history. And then I tap here on position history. And I'm waiting now. See, if I go back to my ApolloBot logs, you see here that this coin was partially closed. See here, it's partially closed. You can also confirm that when you go, that was Pepper coin, right? You can see here, Pepper coin is partially closed. Have you guys seen this? Very important. Take note of this. Okay. Now, like I said, the partial profits is also called splitting mode, because it's actually splitting the trade into two. A part of the trade has been closed, the other part is running. All right. Because the trade was partially closed, a profit has been generated from the trade. Okay, that's why you see when the market is going back up, let's say you're in a long, you see partial close. You notice that your logs here are showing profits, but your exchange here, like you can see, this coin was partially closed, but it is showing losses. Why is this happening? Because the AI is managing the risk on this coin. Very, very important. Managing the risk on this coin. And guess what? If we look at the floating loss, let's check for the floating loss for Pepe. All right. This, or the floating for Pepe, these are the unrealized P&L. You see the short and the long unrealized P&L. If you add this up, all right, if you add this up, hold on, let me show you something. I want to take out time and explain everything for you to understand. So let's see, and let's check. I'm looking for my calculator. Okay, so minus 1.17 minus 0.35. All right, what do we get? We get, okay, let me use this one. we get minus 1.52, right? Okay, so this is the total floating on Pepe coin. But once you come here to, let's check for Pepe, the total, the floating rate for Pepe is what? Let me use this, hold on, is minus 3.68. Now many of you would think there is an error or there's an issue. No, there is no error or there is no issue. There is nothing wrong with the bot. This is absolutely normal. Apollo bot will increase its own floating loss. You can see that the floating loss here in Apollo bot is more than the exchange, right? Apollo bot's floating loss is more than the exchange. Why? Because of the partial profits procedure. Because this coin was partially closed to manage the risk on this coin, right? When a coin hits a stop loss, it will make losses. The partial profits procedure is a stop loss. It starts as a loss to manage the risk. As you can see here, in your exchange, you notice that you are making losses. Okay, you notice that you are making losses here. You can see you are making losses. You can see here, you can see you've made a loss. All right, but this trade is not fully closed, it's partially closed. Okay, why? Because once this trade is fully closed, all the losses that was generated from managing the risk on this coin will be recovered. That is why Apollo bot has increased its own floating loss to account for the losses made to manage the risk on this coin, and to only recover all the losses once the coins fully close. And that's why you notice that there will be a mismatch between, you can see there's a mismatch between Apollo bot and your exchange. Okay, you can see there's a mismatch because the floating loss in Apollo bot is more than your exchange, because Apollo bot is taking into account the losses that it made to manage the risk on this coin. This is why we don't get liquidated in Apollo bot. Once you follow the recommended parameters, just hold on, I'm still going to explain more for you. Okay, so now what happens after this? Okay, let me show you something else. If we tap here on assets, another way to check your floating loss, tap here on assets. Okay, this is your floating loss, your unrealized P&L. Okay, let's go over to hold on. Okay, check. You see here that the floating P&L in Apollo bot is more, see, minus 66 more than on Binance. Binance is minus 59. Why? Again, because Apollo bot has increased its own floating loss value to account for the losses it made to manage risk for you. This is better than traditional stop loss, because once you hit a stop loss, hardly before you make it back. But here in Apollo bot is already designed, programmed to recover the losses for you by increasing its own floating loss while the coin is partially closed. The coin, once it's fully closed, the losses will be recovered. Okay, let me show you an example of coins that were fully closed. Coming over here to futures, tapping there. I think I already showed you what to do. Position history. Okay, you can see partially closed. Hold on. Partially closed, fully closed, fully closed. Have you seen that? All right, now let me show you this in the exchange. Or let's look at Pepe also partially closed. Dodge partially closed. And then this trade here, XPL, right? Hold on. Okay, let me show you this, how this works in exchange. When you see partially closed, it will make losses initially. All right, to manage risk. After the losses have been recovered, the trade will be fully closed. I'm going to show you everything in this video, right? I'm going to record and show you how everything works, how a trade starts from partially closed to how it ends in full closure. So when you go over to your logs, let's check for XPR. You can see here that Dodge was also partially closed, just like you saw in your exchange. But I'm checking for this coin. I'm checking for this coin here. Okay. This coin was fully closed, so I'm checking for it now to show you what happens when the coin is fully closed. Hold on, I think I missed that coin. Opening short, XPL. Okay, here it is. See, when this coin is fully closed, when a coin is fully closed, the profit will appear immediately in your exchange. Okay, see, XPL, exactly. You see, fully closed, the profit exactly 0.96 here in your exchange, exactly as it is here in Apollo bot when it is fully closed. But when it is partially closed, okay, you will see profits. You will see profits in your Apollo because it actually makes profits, but it will not reflect in your exchange because losses were also made to manage the risk. Okay, you see profits in Apollo bot, right? And which one was that? That was Tau, right? Okay, let's check for Tau coin. Okay, and you see losses in your exchange, but it is partially closed. You can see partially closed. It opened. Hold on. You can see it opened, partially closed. It is not yet closed. This trade opened on the 11th of November. It is not yet closed. It is not yet closed. Okay? Unlike the trade here that was fully closed, you can see it opened and it closed. You can see it closed here. All right, everything is all there in your exchange. It's all there in your exchange. I really want you guys to understand how this works. Once you understand how it works, you'll be blown away. So this happens, okay? You can see when it's on partial closure, partial profits procedure, it will show in your logs, it will show in your profit statement that you've made profits, but in your exchange it will show losses because it is a process. Because the trade is not fully closed. It is only when it is fully closed that the profits that were appearing in your Apollo bot will also appear in your exchange. And this time around, all right, you will notice that your Apollo bot will not show any new profit, but your exchange will update the profits so that your profit statement in Apollo bot and your profit statement in your exchange will match 100%. So this is a procedure. This is better than traditional stop losses, because if you keep on hitting stop losses, you will finish your capital. But with this process, any loss you make, you will be recovered definitely by the bot. All right, so I'm going to pause this trade now. I'm going to wait for these trades that are partially closed. I'm going to wait for these trades here that are partially closed. All right, see, they are opened. They're all open but not yet closed. I'm going to wait for these trades that are partially closed to fully close and to show you how my profit statement in my Apollo account and profit statement in my exchange will be fully synchronized once the trades are fully closed, so that you understand the awesomeness of the partial profit procedure, which is the most unique risk management procedure in the futures market, exclusive to Apollo bot. All right, guys, this is the video showing you what happens when your coin that was partially closed is fully closed, for you to understand that the partial closure works as a stop loss to manage the risk. But once the coins are fully closed, your profit statement in Apollo bot on your exchange will match 100% like it was before, right? Very, very important you understand this is the most unique risk management protocol in the market, exclusive to Apollo bot. Now you remember this coin, Pepe coin. Remember last time it was partially closed, not fully closed. Okay, hold on, let me show you. Hold on. Okay, here it is. Here's a screenshot of that trade. You remember Pepe coin here was partially closed. You see, it was opened. It was opened, right, but not closed. You can see here, opened, waiting to close. Hope you guys remember this, right? Now I waited for this coin to close. We have some other trades on partial profits procedure that are not yet closed, but I'm going to show you, just for the sake of time, what happens, because this coin, Pepe coin, is now fully closed. Okay, now fully closed. So what happens when the coin is fully closed? Just look at this. This will blow your mind, and this will reassure you that you're in the best hands, guys. We are a team from different countries. The lead developer of Apollo bot is a genius developer. Okay, he was one of the founding members of Binance when it launched many years ago. So you're in the best hands. And Apollo bot has everything about Apollo bot is unique. Everything about Apollo bot, risk management, profit taking, everything about Apollo bot is unique. So watch this to understand. So now Pepe is fully closed, right? You can see here, same coin is now fully closed. All right, I remember when it was partially, let me go back, when it was partially closed, because I said partial profit is a stop. It starts as when your coin are on partial profits, you will see losses initially, but once the trades are, once the transaction is over, once the procedure is over, once the trade is fully closed, see, you see the loss, you made a loss. Why? Because it is a stop. It acts as a stop loss to manage risk. But once the trade is fully closed, like you're seeing here, the losses are recovered. I really want you guys to understand this. I really want you guys to understand it. Once you understand it, you will love Apollo bot even more. You see, Once it is fully closed, the losses are recovered into net profits. You can see closed. This trade opened on the 18th, closed on the 24th. All losses that were made have been recovered. All losses made recovered into net profits. Now you're wondering what happened, because you say when the coin when it's partially closed, you will be seeing profits in ApolloBot and losses in your exchange. Yes, but when it's fully closed, the losses are recovered and your exchange and ApolloBot will match 100% like it has always been doing. Okay, partial profits will cause a mismatch, a temporal mismatch, until the trade is fully closed, and then it will sink again. Let me show you example of this. Okay, let me go back to my Apollo account. This is Pepe Coin, as you can see. All right, you see Pepe Coin here. Let's check the log for this coin. You can see here the long parameter is closed. No long trade running now. Okay, so let's check it here, the logs. All right, now remember, this was the partial closing that generates losses in your remember, it made a loss in your exchange, but ApolloBot recorded the profit. Yes, there were profits made, because partial profits procedure is also known as a split mode. A part of it goes into profit, a part of it is losses. Now the losses are used to manage the risk, basically like a stop loss. But guess what? The profits are still there. It's not imaginary, it's not fake, it's there. Why? Let's calculate this. Okay, let me show you and calculate this and show you. Hold on. Okay, let me just start all over again. 0.9, right? This is the profits that were made from the partial closure. It actually makes profits and losses. That's why it's called split mode. It will make profits, and the losses is to manage the risk. The profit is there, but it will not show up in your exchange until the trade is fully closed. Okay, so 0.9, okay, plus 1.3 gives me what? Are you guys seeing this? 2.2. Okay, let me go to my exchange and check if I've made 2.2 profits after the trade fully closed. Let's go and check it together. Okay, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Are you seeing 2.2 profit, exactly as it is showing in my ApolloBot profit page? Now that the trade is fully closed, my ApolloBot profit page and my exchange are fully matched. Okay, that's why we say the partial profits procedure causes a temporal mismatch until the trades are fully closed. Why? Because it is used to manage risk. It is used to manage risk, but once the trades are fully closed, everything will match again. Guys, this is very important, because you can be trading and you cannot withdraw your profits because of floating losses. This strategy aims to eliminate floating losses, giving you a clean slate where you can withdraw your profits and continue enjoying more profits with your trading capital. ApolloBot is unique in every sense, guys. This procedure was introduced to manage risk and to also increase profits, because with this, once the trades are fully closed, you can withdraw your profit. So you can withdraw your profits and you start all over again. Okay, you don't have to worry about floating losses. This is the most unique procedure in the market. All that we require from you is patience, guys. This is not a Ponzi scheme. It's not a get rich quick scheme. This is ApolloBot is set up for long-term trading, guys. We've been trading for over 2 years now. We've made good profits with this strategy. All we need from you is patience. This strategy will ensure you don't get liquidated by managing the risk using the partial profits procedure and recovering the losses made in net profits after the coins on partial profits are fully closed. You need to really understand this. It's the best risk management procedure in the market. So I just wanted to take out this time to show you that after the trades on partial profits are fully closed, all the losses, like you see here, this coin here, you can see this coin, see this coin, all right, because they're on partial profits, which, like I said, is a stop loss. You can see it has made losses. A stop loss makes losses, but once it is fully closed, like Pepe fully closed, all the losses will be recovered and the net into net profits, causing your profit page and Apollo bot and your exchange to fully match once again, allowing you to withdraw your profits and leave your capital to continue trading. All right, very important. It's very important. That's why I took out the time to do this video, because I really want you guys to understand. Once you understand how this works, it will blow your mind. Okay, Apollo bot is the best decentralized and non-custodial trading bot in the world. Take it anywhere. The best in the world. We've been trading for over 2 years now. With all the market manipulation, using this strategy, nobody has been liquidated, especially when you're following the recommended parameters. Okay, so reach out to me. You find the link, my links on the description of this video, to my WhatsApp or Telegram handle, where I'll give you the very best settings depending on your capital. With as low as $50, you can start Apollo bot, guys. It is the best bot in the world. Is much better than even forex bots, because cryptocurrency is more volatile, and in trading, volatility, it generates profits. So we take advantage of the movement of the volatile cryptocurrency market to generate even more profits, safer, with Apollo crypto trading bot. So guys, reach out to me, all right, so I can set you up with the best settings and ensure you get started on this amazing financial journey. Okay, this is the best way to start off your financial journey in the cryptocurrency market. All right, first of all, and most importantly, Apollo bot is decentralized or non-custodial, because your money remains in your cryptocurrency bank. That's your exchange, Binance, Bybit, OKX, whichever exchange you choose. Over 5 exchanges, around 10 exchanges you can choose in Apollo bot to keep your money and connect to our decentralized non-custodial trading software to trade for you. So guys, hit me up and I'll see you on the next one. Make sure you like, share and subscribe to the video. Please share this video to your team so they can also understand how it works whenever they see their coins on partial closing and they notice that the losses in their exchange and profits in Apollo bot. Let them understand that after a while, once that coin is fully closed, all those losses will be recovered, and they will notice that the floating loss in Apollo bot will be more in Apollo bot than in their exchange, because the AI has included the losses made from the stop losses to recover all the losses once the coins are fully closed, just like I've showed you. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I'll see you on the next one.